Hello everyone, my name is Dylan and welcome to a brand new video. If you are new here, hi there, I post fun and relaxing English lessons every single Friday. So today I'm going to be teaching you 25 of the best phrasal verbs that will instantly help you to sound more like a native speaker. If you want to be fluent in English, then, well, you need to know these. Now, you may be thinking, Dylan, are phrasal verbs really that important? And the answer is yes. Yeah, they're actually really important, to be honest. And this is because phrasal verbs are used all the time by all English native speakers without us even really thinking about it. That's how common they are. Yet, there are so many advanced and intermediate English speakers out there that just don't really know many of these, and well, that might be you, no offense. So I have broken these down into 5 different categories. Firstly, we have phrasal verbs to do with movement and activity, you know, that thing that we all do all the time. Secondly, we have phrasal verbs that allow you to express your opinions and feelings. Thirdly, we have phrasal verbs to do with relationships and socializing, so very juicy indeed. Fourthly, we have some advanced phrasal verbs that you need to know. And last but definitely not least, we have some random, funny phrasal verbs. Now, these are some of my favorites. This is going to be a really good section. Well, to be honest with you, this is going to be quite a fun video in general, so enjoy. Right then, as always, everything we cover in today's video will also be included in a free PDF, and the link is in the top comment. This is going to be really useful, so I would definitely advise you to check that out. Right guys, let's do this. So for the first category, we have 5 phrasal verbs to do with movement and activity. Now these are all very commonly used, so pay attention. Phrasal verb number 1, run into. Run into. And this is quite a simple one. If you run into someone, it basically means that you meet them unexpectedly, so you see them without planning to. So this might happen at the supermarket, maybe in the middle of the street. It could even happen at the dentist, although of course in the UK that is a bit less likely. Right, let me give you another example. I ran into my ex-wife at the cafe earlier. It was quite awkward. Number 2, take up. Take up. And if you take something up, it just means that you start learning or start doing something new. So this could be a new activity or a new hobby. So, for example, after retiring, John decided to take up golf so that he could stay active and meet new people. Good on you, John. Number 3, play down. Play down. And if you play something down, it just means that you make that thing seem less important or serious than it actually is. So this can be done in 2 different ways. Firstly, it can be done in a positive way if you want to be modest about something. So, for example, the singer played down her success, saying it was just luck and good timing. So here we have someone playing something down in order to be modest, which is of course a good thing. However, you can also play something down in a negative way as well, when you do something bad but act like it isn't that much of a big deal, even if it is. So, for example, the employees played down their inappropriate behavior at the Christmas party by saying it was all just a little joke. Okay, let's see what HR has to say about that, mate. Number 4, brush up on. Brush up on. And if you brush up on something, it just means that you improve your knowledge on something that you were previously good at, but you haven't done for a while. So maybe you haven't practiced something for the last few months, your knowledge or your skill has dropped, and you want to bring it up to that original level. So, for example, before traveling to Japan, the man decided to brush up on his Japanese phrases. Maybe if I had done that, I wouldn't have got arrested that one time, or I wouldn't have been attacked by that deer either. Japan was rough, guys, I'm not going to lie. Number 5, move on. Move on. And if you move on from someone or something, it means that you stop thinking about that thing or person and you move on to something new. So you are letting go of the past. So, for example, after running into my ex-wife at the cafe, I realized maybe it is time for me to move on. Right, for the second category, we have 5 phrasal verbs to do with expressing your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. So, once again, these will be quite useful. Enjoy. Number 1, bottle up. Bottle up. And if you bottle something up, it means that you are suppressing or hiding your emotions. And unfortunately, these are normally quite negative emotions, such as anger. So you're just keeping it on the inside. And guys, what happens if you put too much stuff into a bottle? Eventually it will explode. And this goes for humans as well. So don't bottle things up. Anyway, let me give you an example. The woman bottled up her anger for days. And when it finally came out, it led to a huge argument. Number 2, freak out. Freak out. And if you freak out, it means that you have a sudden emotional reaction, normally when you are very anxious, angry, or upset. So it normally happens quite suddenly and doesn't last for very long. So, for example, the man started freaking out when he realized that he had lost his wallet. Number 3, lighten up. Lighten up. And if you lighten up, it means that you relax and stop being so serious or tense. So you might actually tell someone to lighten up if you think that they are being too serious or tense. So, for example, lighten up, mate, she said. I was just making a little joke. Number 4, and this is an absolute classic. Cheer up. Cheer up. And if you cheer up, it means that you become happier. And if you cheer someone else up, it means that you encourage that person to become happier. Now, this is normally used when you or the other person were feeling particularly sad. So, for example, I bought her flowers to cheer her up after a tough day at work. Number 5, open up. Open up. And if you open up, it means that you decide to start talking about your personal feelings, thoughts, or past experiences that you were previously hiding. So it's kind of like you open up your heart and you let it all come out. So, for example, after months of silence, the man finally decided to open up about his past marriage. So basically, I was married for about 5 years. Very quickly, guys, before we get to the next section, if you like my sense of humor and practical approach to teaching English, then I would highly recommend signing up to my completely free newsletter. So every single Tuesday, I send out a short, funny English lesson about my life without all of the annoying sales emails. By the way, that's where I told that story about me getting arrested in Japan and also getting attacked by that deer. Yeah. Anyway, you do also receive an exclusive bonus YouTube video as soon as you sign up, sent right to your inbox. Now, if all of that isn't enough to convince you, in this week's newsletter, well, next week's newsletter, I will be telling a short story containing 5 secret phrasal verbs that were not included in this video, and I know you don't want to miss that. So guys, once again, it's completely free and the link is in the top comment. Cheers. Category number 3, and things are starting to get a little bit juicy. Here we have 5 phrasal verbs to do with relationships and socializing. Enjoy. Number 1, put up with. Put up with. And if you put up with something or someone, it means that you tolerate or live with something or someone that you find very unpleasant or annoying. You put up with them. So, for example, I can put up with his loud chewing, but I cannot put up with his snoring. It's far too annoying. Number 2, hit it off. Hit it off. And if you hit it off with someone, it means that you get on with someone you have just met right from the start. So you immediately form a strong connection with someone. It's a good feeling. So, for example, They really hit it off at the party and they spent the whole night talking. Number 3. Fall out. Fall out. Fall out. And if you fall out with someone, it means that you have an argument or a disagreement that temporarily or permanently causes your relationship or friendship to end. So, for example, the 2 cats fell out over a misunderstanding and haven't spoken in months. Number 4. Make up. Make up. Now this is actually the opposite of falling out with someone. If you make up with someone, it means that you become friends with them or you get back together with them after your argument or disagreement, so after you've fallen out with them. So, for example, after their big argument, the 2 cats finally made up and became friends again. How sweet. Phrasal verb number 5, and this is a simple one. Cool off. Cool off. Cool off. So if an event or a plan is called off, it means that it is cancelled for whatever reason. So, for example, we had to call off the football match because of the awful weather. That is the most British example I've ever heard, but we don't really call off football matches unless the weather is absolutely dire, in which case, fair play. Category number 4, and here we have 5 advanced phrasal verbs. Now, these are advanced, but don't worry guys, they're still going to be very useful for you to know. Then after this one, we have the funny ones. Enjoy. Number 1, clamp down. Clamp down. So if you clamp down on something, it means that you take strict action to control that thing. So I'll put a photo of a clamp on the screen now. So just imagine that you're clamping down on bad behavior. So, for example, the gym owner clamped down on members taking selfies whilst they were on the machines. They actually have this in Japan, by the way. They have a rule where you can't be on your phone whilst you are on the machine. That's actually why I was arrested. And my punishment was to fight a deer, though it wasn't really a fair fight. But I did get a video out of it and a newsletter, so you can't complain. Number 2, dwell on. Dwell on. Dwell on. So if you dwell on something, it means that you think or talk about that thing for a long time. Now this is especially true if that thing is negative. So something bad has happened to you and you can't stop thinking about it or you can't stop talking about it. You are dwelling on it. So, for example, the dog couldn't stop dwelling on the fact that he had lost his favourite bone. You thought I was going to say I can't stop dwelling on my ex-wife or the fact that I was attacked by a deer, didn't you? You really think I'm that one-dimensional. Well, guys, I'm not. This one is about the dog dwelling about his favourite bone, okay? Why do you keep bringing that up? It's not even... I don't care about any of those. If you're new to this channel, you must think I'm so weird. This is a fun channel, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Number 3. Fess up. Fess up. Fess up. And if you fess up to something, it means you admit or confess to doing something wrong or making a mistake. So you are taking the blame. So, for example, after months of hiding it, the cat finally fessed up to hiding the dog's favourite bone. Number 4, chip in. Chip in. So if you chip in to something or chip in for something, it means that you contribute a small amount of money, time or effort into that thing. Now this is normally done in a group. So for example, if there are a few of you, I don't know, you may all chip in a little bit of money in order to buy your teacher a present. Maybe. So for example, all of the students chipped in to buy their teacher a lovely gift. Yeah. Must be nice. Must be nice. Where's my gift, guys? Where's my gift? I'll tell you what. If you're enjoying this video, if you want to give me a gift, you can just like the video and subscribe to the channel. That is the best thing you can do for me. Oh, actually, you can also subscribe to my newsletter. Although that's kind of like me giving you a gift. I think in that situation, we both win. Yeah. And I don't say that in a manipulative type of way. I genuinely mean it. Anyway, speaking of manipulative, did I ever tell you about that time that my ex-wife burnt all of my... Expression number 5. Pull off. Pull off. Pull off. And if you pull something off, it means that you succeed in doing something very difficult or unexpected. So you accomplished something that seemed unlikely. For example, I can't believe we pulled off that surprise party without her finding out. Or another example, the team managed to pull off a surprise win despite the fact they had so many injuries. See, not all of these examples are jokes, sometimes you got to be serious. It's all about finding the right balance. These can't all just be random and funny. Okay, last but definitely not least, we have 5 random and funny phrasal verbs. Now, these are some of my personal favorites, and they will absolutely help you to sound more like a natural, native British speaker. Enjoy. Number 1, butter up. Butter up. Butter up. So if you butter someone up, it basically means that you give them loads of compliments and you are really nice to them. You basically flatter them in order to get something that you want. I'm not too sure why I like this one so much. I just think it's funny, Right, so let me give you an example. The man tried to butter up his boss by complimenting her dress. Number 2, cough up. Cough up. Cough up. And if someone coughs up, it means that they reluctantly pay money or something else that they owe to someone else. So this is quite often used when someone is asked for money that they don't want to give away. So, for example, after months of avoiding her texts, the woman finally coughed up the £20 that she owed for the concert tickets. Expression number 3, churn out. Churn out. Churn out. So a churn is a machine. I'll put a photo on the screen. A churn is a machine that creates butter, normally in large amounts. So with that in mind, if you churn something out, it means that you create a large amount of something in a short amount of time, normally with less attention to quality. So, for example, the man churns out new YouTube videos every single day, despite the fact they aren't very good. Couldn't be me, guys. Couldn't be me. Number 4, budge up. Budge up. Budge up. This is another absolute classic. If you tell someone to budge up, you're basically telling someone to move a little bit to make room for someone or something. So this is quite often used in crowded situations when you're trying to make room for someone, normally because they would like to sit down. So just imagine you are in a busy restaurant and for some reason this restaurant has benches instead of chairs. Now if there are 3 people on the bench but you're trying to fit one more person in, you would go to the person at the end of the bench and you would say, yeah, budge up a little bit, mate. Let me get in there. Let me get in there. So it has a very specific meaning. Let me give you an example. Can you budge up a bit, please? There isn't really anywhere for me to sit. Expression number 5. Weasel out of. Weasel out of. Weasel out of. So the last one. If you weasel out of something, it means that you avoid doing something that you should be doing, often in a dishonest or sly way. So this isn't a good thing. If you call someone a weasel, you're basically saying that they are a dishonest, sneaky person. So let me give you one final example. He tried to weasel his way out of paying the bill by pretending that he had no money. It's rough, guys. It's rough. Right then and there we have it. Those are 25 phrasal verbs that will help you to instantly sound more like a native, advanced British speaker. So as mentioned, everything will be included in a free PDF. The link is in the top comment. I would highly recommend that you check this out because there's going to be a lot of useful information there. And you don't even need to sign up to anything either, unless you would like to. All I ask in return, guys, is that if you did enjoy today's video, why not consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel and turning on the little bell, and maybe even commenting down below. It all makes a massive difference. If you would like to stay in touch, I would recommend following my Instagram, which is British Education _, or my Spotify, which is British Education, and I post all of my videos there as well. Why not sign up to my free newsletter as well? And every single Tuesday, I will send you a short, funny English lesson about my life, and you do also receive an exclusive bonus video. The link is in the top comment. I promise You guys will not regret it. Right then, as mentioned, I post new videos every single Friday, so thank you again for watching, and hopefully I will see you there. And until next time, cheers. That's something I used to do at the end of all my videos. I've kind of not been doing it that much lately, but that's why I wanted to do it there. All right, bye.